Dear whatever God you believe in, the muse and the deities of creativity, I pray that what we do today touches and moves and gives wings to those we make it for. I pray that we are safe on set, that we treat one another with respect. I pray that we help one another grow in this tumultuous industry called life. Let's do this.
Cypher is a Korean-American underground hip-hop story that takes place 5 years after the LA riots.
So it's just like yes. Okay, so how's it going right now?
Oh, it's going crazy, you know, crazy ain't crazy. Like, crazier than crazy it's crazy, maybe.
We lost the location and then we just made a brand new location out of an office.
We've moved to our First 80s studio and we've rectified 3 sets. We have one out in the hallway. This is our radio station that we're using. And then behind us here, we have our locker.
We have not lost faith at all. We are making it with as much magic as we intended to. I really love hyping the crowd up.
DJ Myth OG! OG! When I say it's K-Town and it's going down, it's K-Town! It's going down, son!
I was that Asian kid who really loved hip hop and I wore double XL baggy shirts and jeans hanging off my butt. We just thought this film could be like a love letter to hip hop and showing its power and ability to transcend conflict and be a harmonizer.
High temperature 'cause I breathe fire.
Print that shit.
The Prince is a story about a young tap dancer and her uncle who is an actor. And they are Middle Eastern Canadians and dealing with what it means to be that in this racially divided world that we're living in.
Lots of frustration and tension, Ashe.
I've directed theater, but I haven't directed film, so this is my first time directing behind the camera.
And action.
It's based on true events, this whole story, just about some of the things I've witnessed happening and worked through with my husband within his career as an actor. I'm married to a Canadian who's of Egyptian heritage. The incident that happens on the bus in the story happened to us on the SkyTrain. I think sometimes we feel like, oh, that happens in the States. That doesn't happen here, but it does happen here. I wrote this script pre-election, and since the election, I think the story is all the more relevant. We need to have a say in what we're trying to put out in the world.
It's about a pipeline being built under a suburban community.
This is my Bible. I drew over the course of 4 days. That's Peter. I don't know if you can see the resemblance. It's actually kind of similar to him. Oh, look at you.
Are those my boobs?
Those are your... No, those are your shoulders.
I was researching the things that were happening at Standing Rock, and I thought there was people's voices that weren't being heard, and I wanted to bring those voices out by switching people's perspectives.
Does anyone here really want to go to jail?
We have all the things that people would say not to include in the film. We have children, we got animals, we got visual effects shots, we got action sequences.
We're using the power of comedy. It's good medicine.
An Hung is about Jenny, a young Vietnamese girl growing up in a Vietnamese household. She struggles to maintain her childhood as she learns the truth about her family.
For the breathing exercise. 12, take 3 mark.
This story is slightly based off of my own childhood.
I specifically chose this kind of house because it's very Chinese and Vietnamese. There's a very specific look, like aluminum foil on the kitchen and really random spices and veggies everywhere constantly.
I did grow up with parents struggling to make ends meet. So yeah, they did have gamblers in the back. They found different ways to raise their 4 kids just coming off the boat to Canada.
Snow is a struggle.
This is actually the first time I've dipped into my own culture and making a story about how I grew up.
Cut.
Cut! Cut! Cut!
Woodman's basically a spin on the old Pinocchio story, only he never became a real boy. He just grew up to be a very sad, middle-aged wooden man.
Woodman is the result of the question, what if you couldn't lie at all?
Hey Pete, could you make your performance a little less wooden?
Peter New and I have been doing projects together pretty much for our entire adult lives.
We're aptly suited to tell the story because, like the Woodman, neither of us is a success.
Woodman is a really challenging piece. We've got a lot of moving parts. Just about every shot has some sort of a gag or a technical challenge. It was very, very ambitious, and it all added up, so we're right on the edge.
And cut.
Cut on picture.
Lovely. How are we for time? Do I have time for one more?
Are you kidding me?
Usually, you know, the classic Western is all about the guns and the violence and the shootouts in town, and we thought it would be interesting to explore what happens after the death.
All 4 of us have always worked together. We love telling stories.
Yeah, I think we've been working so long that we tend to finish each other's
sentences?
No, I was gonna say sandwiches.
We try to rely on each other's strengths. John and I come from an animation background, and the other 2 come from a live action background.
Love it. Big deep breath here.
This time we've literally made it a family affair in that, I mean, us 4 are working together. Our cinematographers are the Talbot brothers, who are twins. And one of our lead actors is Louis Ferreira, and his son Aiden is our first AD.
Let's roll sound.
So we've got a ton of family on board here.
One of the biggest challenges is that we chose a period piece and trying to execute it in a believable, kind of entertaining way.
Lee, that looks good, eh? Wow.
It looks better today than on our dad's home camera when we were 8 years old. So we're excited about that.
A little bit better.
Cut! That's great, everyone. We got it. That's a wrap.
Welcome to the Cypher School. We on a Crazy 8 shoot with the craziest crew.
There's just so much support behind Crazy 8s. The fact that they were willing to tell this story with me means a lot.
It's really crazy. It really challenges you as a filmmaker and challenges your skills.
We have just enough time and just enough resources to make something really, really good, but just barely.
It's not coming from a competitive way at all. It's just all about people making these great films and just being in each other's corners.
Just the fact that we're sitting here is because of so many other hearts beating in this room.
Crazy 8's Film Society supports you. They provide the equipment. They say really nice things to you and like give you back massages.
It's all about doing it for a very small amount of money.
It's about doing it in no time at all.
It's about working with local people and talent and coming together to make something great.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a show wrap on The Prince. Show wrap on The Prince. Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
8 days, $1,000.
Great sponsorship.
Gala screening.
You doing it? Go for it. Okay. It's going down, son. With the K-Town crew. We boys be reppin' that red and blue. Any sucker going through me or my homies getting knocked down cause there ain't no one above us. K-Town flow, yo, can I get a witness? Real G's know I'm all about the business. Beat gives the beat. I'm sitting here spitting music to your ears. So open up and listen. I am Bruce Lee, whooping Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's ass. Take away his the way he wins it. You're so creative, painting pictures with generic Asian disses. So pay attention, cause I'm about to take this trash out. If it wasn't for my background, you wouldn't have shit to rap about. Yeah.